what's up everybody, welcome back to another video. And yeah, today I finally decided it's time to update my test bench rig's computer chassis. Something that I haven't done for at least like 5 years. So I was really interested in what's out there, right? And what I saw was a lot of pretty similar cases with some minor detail differences overall, right? But then I actually saw a LianLi's O11D, I think it was, and that looked absolutely amazing because I saw it on a storefront in my hometown of Tallinn, Estonia here, and I was like, oh my god, I need to buy this. But then I found out that ASUS, of all things, has produced a pretty much identical twin copy of that chassis. I don't know what's exactly going on, but they look really similar. So what I decided to do was to get the ASUS TUF GT502, and yeah, today here is my video review from this chassis, as I've done a couple of reviews already in it, but I haven't produced the actual review video for the chassis itself. So in today's video I'm gonna give my thoughts about it, the pros and cons, and the final verdict at the end of the video as well. And yeah, it's been a pretty interesting case, and I've found something that I didn't like that much. So first of all, the size. It is actually a very decently sized case. Not too big, not too small. A mid-tower is what it's called, and this one is a dual chamber design. So it is a bit of a fat boy. But thanks to this, we have a ton of extra room behind the motherboard, so much so that you can even fit the power supply there. Or if you really wish, a 360mm water cooling radiator. Now, what actually shocked me was the modular design. Holy Moses! I mean, one thing is just looking at this thing at a storefront or on a web page, but what you never really think about is, I mean, like, yo, how easy is it to actually install parts into this thing, right? And what I can say is that it is one of the easiest processes I've ever had. And yeah, I know PC building a little bit. Now, I've had my PC running just on my table, bare bones, to save extra cash for a more powerful video card. And I've also designed and built my own wall-mounted chassis. And yeah, sometimes the installment phase is just absolutely horrendous. Not with the GT502. The side window comes off super easy and is held in place by strong magnets. Then the other side panel also uses the same mechanic. After that you discover, oh my god, what the hell? The front glass panel also comes off just as easy. And then you find out you can even super easily remove the top panel as well, making the installment of water cooling blocks, fans, etc. super freaking easy. And actually a fun experience. I mean, there are so many modular parts here that you can, you know, take off, put on and change around, that, I mean, I was actually kinda surprised that ASUS decided to release the TUF chassis in this form factor, right, instead of the ROG. So their TUF lineup is not as pretty as their ROG parts, right? So perhaps ASUS is also releasing a black ROG model with maybe some extra improvements, cause yeah, there is one small part that definitely needs improvement. Maybe in the GT503 version. You see, I have to be super honest in my reviews, and for me, this feels the biggest design error ASUS has done in a long time. At least an error a regular end user would actually see and feel. What I mean is that they decided to add this stupid extra large cover over the side of the chassis, which I guess makes the case a bit tougher, but at the downside of most larger Nvidia 4000 series or AMD 7000 series cards not be able to fit in this thing horizontally. And when I tried installing it using the vertical mount, my god, I mean, it looks cool, but I definitely felt that this was an error. You see, there isn't any real mount for a vertical setup. There's just one part so you can actually screw your video card in place, and that's it. Nothing to actually hold the GPU up from the bottom other than the included support bar. The card just hovers with the PCI Express extender just floating in the abyss. I mean, honestly, it feels a little bit stupid, I'm sorry. I mean, it works and looks pretty cool, but it definitely should have had a proper mount as well. And, you know, the hover thing being just an optional extra, right? I mean, imagine installing your card with a proper water block like this, which might flex enough under transportation that it would break the loop. So what I ended up doing, as it was my test rigs upgrade chassis and I need to install different sized video cards in different positions, I took a power tool and just cut off a decent amount of metal, then grinded the edges down so I wouldn't cut myself, and also painted the exposed metal over very professionally. I mean, come on guys, like this is a basic error on designing a chassis. This should have been fixed and seen in the design floor department. Like, dude, we should maybe remove this part here. It's actually not needed at all, but yeah, it wasn't done. So maybe in the GT503 and in the ROG models. But yeah, other than that, this chassis goes around at like 200 euros here in Estonia. You might maybe get it a little bit cheaper on Amazon or somewhere else, right? And there are a couple of different versions of this case. I bought mine, which was the most cheapest version for 200 euros, which didn't include any case fans. And because it didn't include any case fans, it also didn't include the RGB controller, which kinda sucks if you have a lot of RGB fans in your case, right? And not a lot of RGB headers on your motherboard. So thankfully I owned an older TUF case at home, and that had a RGB controller, which I just unscrewed and then re-screwed into the GT502. I mean, it didn't fit as well, right, just with one screw, but it works. So yeah, that's fine. Fine with me. But yeah, overall the price is pretty decent. It's actually cheap in my opinion, but it definitely should have included some fans at least, and definitely RGB fans. But yeah, my final verdict for the ASUS TUF GT502 is a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, definitely a 10 out of 10 case if it didn't have this larger metal bar next to the video card slot blocking you actually installing powerful graphics cards, right? Because the case is really long and you can actually install any video card that you wish, right? But you can't do it horizontally, like, come on. So if you buy this case and still want to use horizontal installing method, then just cut out this piece. Nothing too crazy hard or difficult, just a little bit extra work that should have been done already in the factory. Anyway, that's my quick little review from the TUF GT502 chassis. If you have any other interesting questions about this chassis, leave them down below in the comments and I'll try my best to answer those questions. But yeah, overall, it is a really beautiful and modular chassis that I really love. Definitely, like, especially because I'm like doing reviews, video reviews, and I need to change hardware quite often. This case has so much freaking room. It's just a pleasure to, you know, install different kinds of motherboards, video cards, now that I've gotten out the metal part, and yeah, maybe even include a proper decent like metal mount for the vertical installment of video cards, and perhaps even one model that, you know, comes with everything, right? A PCI extender slot with the ribbon cable as well. Anyway, that's it for my video right now. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, and yeah, I'll be seeing you soon, guys. Ciao for now.